Hello, welcome to InfoHub. We have some interesting stories for you today. President Granger meets with U.S. State Department official in Grenada. Prime Minister Nagamootoo leads high-level team to meet flood-affected Blackbush polder farmers. CJIA temporary terminal up and running. And social cohesion celebrated in Berbice. Stay tuned for these and more. Thanks for staying with us. We begin by telling you that President David Granger, who is in Grenada for the 38th meeting of the CARICOM heads of government, met with a high-level U.S. State Department official who reaffirmed the U.S. government's support for Guyana. Paul McAdam reports.
Last evening, Guyana's President David Granger engaged in bilateral discussions with the U.S. State Department's Undersecretary for Political Affairs, Thomas Shannon. These discussions were held on the sidelines of the 38th Heads of Government Conference for CARICOM at the Radisson Hotel.
I met Mr. Shannon before in Washington, and what he did say last evening was very reassuring, that there is no intention on the part of the administration, the new U.S. administration, to alter those relations. We know that President Trump has made certain statements with regard to Cuba, made certain statements with regard to Venezuela, and obviously we are interested, but we are interested in consensual and peaceful outcomes. And I don't think at present it could be said there's any threat to the stability of the Caribbean. So we look forward to working with the United States administration as a trusted partner in relation with all of the states. And we see the Caribbean speaking with one voice when we speak to the United States administration. The foundation for continued cordial relations already has been laid, and we're on the side of those orderly relations. We're on the side of the perpetuation of the traditional cordial relations between the two sides.
From Grenada, Paul McAdam for the InfoHub.
And President Granger is steadfast in his push for deepening regional unity. Today he spoke on the absolute necessity for the region to pursue the single market. Here is what our head of state had to say.
The single market economy is the single most important, most ambitious project of the community, in 44 years. So I attach great significance to it and its success. It is difficult to say how we would exist as a community without CSME. It affects our single domestic space, it affects single internet and communication space, it affects our single security space, it affects everything. And to the extent that CSME doesn't work well, it means that the community will fail to achieve its objective.
And back in Guyana, Prime Minister Moses Nagamootoo yesterday led a high-level team that met with Blackbush polder cattle farmers to address the current flood situation in the Cookrit Savannah. InfoHub accompanied the Prime Minister to Berbice, and here is more from Zanil Williams.
Due to constant heavy rainfall, the Cookrit Savannah is flooded. Cattle rearing is prevalent in the area, and the cattle now have access to very few areas of dry land. Farmers expressed concern about the laissez-faire approach taken by the PPP-controlled RDC and NDCs in the area. Prime Minister Moses Nagamootoo appealed for cooperation and for officials not to play politics.
We want to appeal to all the NDCs and the Water Users Association that we are in this together. We got to cooperate. All the systems have to run at full speed, and those you find not doing their duty, they will be dealt with. They will be dealt with. If they are not doing the duty because they have some political agenda, that this is a good time for them to celebrate that farmers in Blackbush Polar are suffering. No one stands to benefit by doing nothing. when there's a situation. We will do everything we can.
It is reported that Regional Chairman Mr. David Armagon said that there is not adequate monies to purchase fuel for the pumps. However, this was debunked by Junior Finance Minister Jaipal Sharma, who said that of a budget of over $600 million, a meager $16 million was spent to date, and that there is more than adequate funds available to purchase fuel. Meanwhile, the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority engineer for Region 6, Lester Prasad, explained the cause of the flooding.
The Crooked Savannah lies is bordered by the Kanji Creek and the Blackbush Polder cultivation area. The Blackbush cultivation area is an empowered area which has in place a designed drainage and irrigation system, and it is classified as a declared drainage and irrigation area. Now, sadly or unfortunately, the Crooked Savannah is not.
Prime Minister Moses Nagamootoo notes that the Ministry of Agriculture will work assiduously to ensure that farmers receive the help that they need. There are reports that some farmers claim that over 1,000 heads of cattle had died and the corpses are lying in the savannah. However, an extensive flyover of the area on Wednesday by the CDC and GDF proved otherwise. The vast majority of the cattle are alive but are surviving in the flooded areas. Only a handful of dead animals were observed during the flyover. A high-level meeting called by Prime Minister Moses Nagamootoo, including Ministry of Agriculture, the CDC, NDIA, and other agencies, was called this afternoon, and a team comprising regional and other officials will visit the area on Friday. Zenil Williams for InfoHub.
Thank you, Zenil. The CJIA temporary terminal is up and running as contractors intensify works to complete the expansion of the airport. InfoHub spoke to the Deputy CEO who explained the situation.
The temporary terminal became necessary since the November deadline for the completion of the permanent terminal could not be met. Deputy Chief Executive Officer of CGIA, Andre Kelman, told InfoHub that though the terminal is still to be completed, it has been used for arriving passengers since last Friday.
Both customs and immigration are receiving the passengers, and then we're handing it over to the greeters and taxis and stuff like that, which I must admit is not the best at this point in time. We are hoping to install the necessary signage that will accommodate that type of operation, that is the taxis.
The Deputy CEO said that both CGIA and the contracting company, China Harbour Engineering, agreed to create the temporary arrival terminal to provide space for the contractor to complete the airport project.
Currently, he's designing the arrivals terminal, and in addition to that, he's also designing the departures terminal. Those spaces would be required for the contractor to complete his project, hence the reason for us creating this temporary arrangement.
Works on the temporary terminal are being executed by the contractors at no additional cost from the US $150 million budget for the project, which began in 2013. Zenil Williams for InfoHub.
And still in aviation, the sector is now better equipped to offer improved services. I witnessed some significant advancements today. The Guyana Civil Aviation Authority today commissioned its recently acquired simulator and certified its aviation training organization. Minister Annette Ferguson said the investment in the aviation industry will significantly bolster the industry.
Guyana Civil Aviation Authority invested, and I want you to listen to the figure, 85 million Guyana dollars. You hear me, people? 85 million Guyana dollars to procure this state-of-the-art equipment, this expensive equipment. Much will not have been achieved without a formal and certified institution to carry out such training. The certification process means that this institution would be able to offer courses approved and recognized by the international civil aviation industry.
Director General for the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, retired Colonel Egbert Field, is also proud of the accomplishment. He said that training cost the institution millions of dollars, but with the certification of the Civil Aviation Training School, training costs will now be affordable.
Here we have programmed $130 million for training of personnel. And this is excluding the sum the Honorable Minister spoke about, the $85 million. I am happy today that the two main items, the simulator and the training school, have been completed and will surely continue the work being done by the Civil Aviation Authority.
The training school and the simulator will enhance Guyana's capacity to produce more trained and skilled personnel in the aviation sector. The Ministry of Social Cohesion collaborated with the New Amsterdam Harmony Group yesterday to host the first ever Harmony Village in Berbice. Here is our director Imran Khan with this special report.
The New Amsterdam Cultural Fest saw persons of all walks of life gather to celebrate Berbice's rich culture, heritage, people, and cuisines. Prime Minister Moses Nagamootoo said that Harmony Village is a movement that will better social cohesion across all regions.
Harmony Village, it is not just a Harmony Village Day, nor is it just a Harmony Village Fest or Festival. Harmony Village in Guyana is a movement. It is a movement that is developing at the grassroots of our society among the ordinary people who want to live together, to work together, and to ensure that our country develop together.
The event saw local businesses showcasing their goods and services, cultural songs, skits, and poems. Minister of State Joseph Harmon, Minister of Social Cohesion Dr. George Norton, Minister within the Ministry of Finance Jaipal Sharma, Ambassador of Suriname Moran Nisa Kurban Babo, Mrs. Sita Nagamootoo, and regional officials attended the opening ceremony. Minister Norton commended the New Amsterdam Harmony Group. The members were trained last November in diversity and inclusion by the Ministry of Social Cohesion.
Harmony Village New Amsterdam Cultural Feast is a direct outcome of the work which is being done by the Ministry of Social Cohesion, and that is to nurture individual and community relationships.
Minister Norton also revealed that other regions have expressed interest in hosting Harmony Villages. Imran Khan, Info Hub.
Citizens will benefit from a wide scope of information in ophthalmology as Guyana hosts the 28th Annual Conference of the Ophthalmological Society of the West Indies. Gabriela Patram was at the ceremony today and has the details.
The conference focus is the prevention and eradication of blindness in the region by fostering education and research and cultural exchange among ophthalmologists in the Caribbean. At the opening ceremony, Minister of Public Health Waldo Lawrence says that the conference will provide the government of Guyana with information on how to advance its ophthalmic care for citizens.
Providing quality eye and vision care for our nation is a key priority for the ministry, and we have high expectations that the outcome of this conference will promote capacity building among all our stakeholders involved in the provision of eye care services in Guyana.
Minister Lawrence expressed satisfaction that the conference embodies measures to mitigate visual impairment through the dissemination of information, workshops, and dialogue among ophthalmologists. President of the USWI, Dr. Nigel Barker, in his remarks, expressed pleasure that the organization is hosting the conference in Guyana after 2 failed attempts in previous years.
Osway has done a few missions here in Guyana, but I hope that we will be able to offer the country much more.
Additionally, an ophthalmology exhibition which displays equipment and related products is also being held. For DPI Info Hub, Gabriela Patram.
Gabriela joins us again to tell us that Minister Dr. Karen Cummins urged students at the Victoria Primary School graduation to remain focused on their education as they enter another phase in life.
The minister told the students to utilize the knowledge instilled by their teachers as they progress through secondary school life.
I urge all of you to cherish and remember your time here at Victoria Primary School and honor those memories by working with determination and commitment to be the best students you can be as you move forward in your life.
Minister Dr. Cummins called on the parents and guardians to continue supporting and teaching their children. The minister also urged the students to identify persons who can be positive influence in their lives as role models and to abstain from negative influences.
The future beckons. The world is out there to be discovered. However, while there are good things in this world, there are also bad things that, if not avoided, can easily lead you down the path of destruction. Beware of the people around you. Choose your friends wisely and ensure that together you can collectively serve to positively influence each other.
Valedictorian Shaldona Thorne called for her fellow classmates to remain committed in assisting each other to strive towards their goals. She says, though they may not all attain their goals at the same time, they must continue to work harder to achieve success in life. Gabriella Patram, InfoHub.
Thanks for watching. Connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.